Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu Teil 12. Let's Fail. Baphomets Fluch. Shadows of the Templars. The Director's Cut. Englisch. Mit Kersti. Wir gehen einfach wieder ins Museum rein. Und meine Nase ist immer noch verstopft. Ach, guck mal, da ist ja jetzt jemand, den wir vorher noch nicht kannten. Geh mal weg da aus dem Bild. Hallo.
He was a thin-faced, pallid guy with a questionable taste in outlandish clothes. My mother used to dress like that. I beg your pardon. Are you André Lobineau?
That's me. You want my autograph?
No. I was told you may be able to help me.
Help?
My name is George Stobart. I'd like your professional opinion.
Well, okay. Shoot.
Does the name Montfaucon mean anything to you?
Sure. It was the most grisly spectacle in Paris until the Revolution.
A public toilet?
Montfaucon was the place of execution for many thousands. A dark temple of death, with row upon row of arches, each one framing a grim exhibit. Scores of rotting corpses swung on creaking rope, while the crows devoured their flesh.
That explains the image of the hanged man. I found a reference to Montfaucon in Ireland, in a village called Lochmarn.
Lochmarn? That's where Pegram was digging.
That's right. He'd left the excavation before I arrived.
Who?
Do you know Pegram well?
Not really. I met him at a conference. I would have liked to talk to him in depth, but I didn't have time.
When was this?
Oh, back in the summer, July, I think.
Juli, war das nicht, als die anderen Typen ermordet wurden?
I'd like your opinion on a medieval manuscript.
Vraiment? Do you have it with you?
No, it's too fragile. And besides, there are certain people who'd stop at nothing to get their hands on it.
Intriguing. Do you have a copy of the text?
There isn't much. Only a few Latin phrases. I was kind of hoping you'd help decipher the pictures.
Without seeing the manuscript, that's a tall order.
Just tell me one thing. What does the image of two men riding on the same horse suggest to you?
The Knights Templar. Does the Templar seal appear on this manuscript? I'd love to see that for myself.
Ja, glaube ich dir.
The manuscript is being looked after by a friend.
In Paris?
Yeah. Not far from here, in fact.
Well, just give me the address and I'll come round and take a look.
I'm not so sure about that. Maybe I should check with her first.
A female friend?
Yeah, she's a woman. This friend who has the manuscript?
Oui, the anonymous girlfriend.
She lives at 361 Rue Jarry.
Ah, I know it well. I'll drop by. Just as soon as I can.
Warum genau hast du mir jetzt die Adresse verraten? Verstehe ich jetzt nicht.
Can you tell me anything about the Knights Templar?
I sure can, Georgie. Soldiers, diplomats, mercenaries, monks, bankers, you name it, the Templars fit the bill. The greatest fighting force in Christendom, the militia of Christ.
Jeez.
Christenbaum.
How did the Templars get their name?
From the building in which they set up their headquarters. The King of Jerusalem gave them part of a mosque on the Temple Mount. It was said to have been the site of the original Temple of Solomon. The order became known first as the Knights of the Temple, and later as the Knights Templar.
You're a mine of information, André.
Glad to be of help, Georgie.
Georgie.
How come the Templars became so wealthy?
There was a constant stream of new recruits to their ranks, many from noble families. They were required to swear a sacred oath of poverty, chastity, and obedience. So, their money, goods, and lands were donated to the order. The Templars soon held land in France, Scotland, England, Spain, most of Europe, in fact. The poor Knights of Christ became the wealthiest power in Christendom.
Is it true the treasure of the Knights Templar was never found?
Ah, who knows? So little knowledge of what really happened remains. Or, if it does, the truth has never been made public.
What do you mean by that?
The Templars have attained mythological status, like the King Arthur of the Britons. There are people even now who say the Templars still exist.
Do you think that's likely?
No, not for a minute.
Abstergo Industries, meine Freunde.
I think you ought to know that the tripod is going to be stolen.
The Lochman tripod? No.
It's true. I can give you a description of the thieves.
Before the supposed event has taken place?
I heard them planning the raid.
They're wasting their time. The tripod is protected by a state-of-the-art alarm system.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you.
Klauen sie selbst.
Why don't you loan the tripod to me for safekeeping?
Because I'd never see it again.
Well, don't you trust me?
It's not a question of trust, George. That tripod is hundreds of years old and extremely fragile.
I get your point. Have you ever heard of the Hashashin?
Why, yes,
Jetzt spricht er sich
it was a
aus.
radical Muslim sect whose name became synonymous with murder. It was formed in 11th century Persia, shortly before the Crusades.
At roughly the same time as the Templars.
Yes, they gave a new word to our language, Assassini, the assassins.
Assassino.
How did the assassins get their name?
From the legends surrounding the secrets of their initiation rites. A young man who sought to join the sect was given hashish until he drifted into dreams. He awoke to find himself in a fabulous garden with everything he could wish for. The freshest water, the most delicious food, the choicest hash, and the most delectable women imaginable.
Cool. Do you have the address?
I haven't finished the story. There was a price to pay for this taste of paradise.
Wouldn't you just know it?
The young man would wake the next day to find himself back in the real world. He was told that he'd been given a glimpse of the heaven reserved for holy martyrs. A heaven he would enjoy for eternity if he was willing to join the Hashashin.
How did the assassins operate?
Well, as I explained, the new recruits would be only too willing to die for the cause. They'd be instructed in the use of the dagger, poisons, and disguise. Then, the Grand Master of the sect would name an enemy of Allah.
And they'd stop at nothing to eliminate that enemy.
You got it. They were fearless and deadly.
Does the cult of the assassins still exist?
Take a look around at the world today. You tell me.
Gehen wir denn da offensichtlich?
Where was the site of Montfaucon?
To the northeast, near the Canal Saint-Martin, but there's nothing there now. The old gibbet was torn down during the Revolution.
Ja, ich versuche.
I'd like to shake you by the hand, Andre.
Not now, Georgie.
Okay, dann erstmal den.
Does the guy in this photograph look familiar to you?
No.
Schade.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
Alamut is the name of the place where the Hashashin were based.
Where is it?
Somewhere in what used to be called Persia. I'm not too hot on modern geography, I'm afraid. The most recent map I have shows America as an English colony.
Ich hab das da heute erst gelesen. Persien ist jetzt... Oh Gott, ich hab's vergessen. Iran? Irak? Irgendwo? Libyen? Ja, keine Ahnung.
What do you make of this ID card?
Nothing.
Okay, dann zeige ich dir halt jetzt doch das Ding.
What do you make of this?
It's the biggest gemstone I've ever seen. Where did you get it?
From Professor Pegram's messenger boy.
Did Pegram find this on his dig?
Yeah, the site where this was found was a Templar castle. Do you think it could be part of the Templar treasure?
No, I shouldn't think so. You're not one of those crazies who think the Templars still exist, are you?
Well, I try to keep an open mind on the matter.
Ja, das war's jetzt schon damit.
Do you recognize this white powder, Andre?
No.
Ja, den Rest lassen wir einfach mal weg.
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
Dann stürzen wir jetzt nochmal los zu Nico. Denke ich mal, macht sich am sinnvollsten. Was ist das? Montfaucon. Ach so, wir können da. Oh, dann gehen wir erstmal dahin. Klick. Kaffee. Guten Tag, der Herr.
I once read a list of low-stress jobs. It didn't include police work. Obviously, this guy hadn't read the same list. Excuse me, officer. What do you know about the Knights Templar?
Les Templiers. Only that they were excommunicated in 1312 and hanged in their dozens within this very square.
Boy,
Square.
what they teach in the police academy these days.
No, monsieur. I read it on that board over there.
Hier drüben.
Shouldn't you be off directing traffic or something?
You have seen the Parisian traffic, no?
Yeah, so?
I could direct the traffic. The most dangerous, the east side of Rome. Or I can sit here and enjoy the sun, the architecture, and the so-so Sauvignon. Which would you choose?
Yeah, but I'm not a policeman. What happened to duty?
An excellent question, monsieur.
Die Stimme, herrlich.
Would you like to shake? I stopped myself barely in time. Electrocuting a cop would not have been smart. They'd rebuild the Bastille just so they could throw me in and throw away the key.
Boah, drauf ankommen lassen.
Have you seen this man before?
No. Who is it?
I believe him to be an international assassin.
Oh.
Is that all you can say? Oh.
I did wonder if I should say that I believe you to be an international paranoiac. But it didn't seem polite.
Oh, ist du da? You can't say. Herrlich.
Take a look at this.
Ah, an electrician.
Die Stimme ist so.
What do you think of this?
A blood pressure sleeve.
I'll see you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
Die Stimme, ey. So, gucken wir mal. Aber was gibt's hier noch Schönes? Oh, ich habe ja noch mein Tool. Mein Gully-Tool.
In the middle of the square was a manhole. I wondered if there might be something relevant beneath street level.
Will ich nicht, wenn ich den Kopf erst verscheuchen muss, bevor ich da rein kann.
In French, English, and German it read, In 1312, Pope Clement V dissolved the knightly order of the Templars and excommunicated its members on charges of heresy. In the following 2 years, many of the knights were hanged on this site. Their Grand Master, Jacques de Molay, was burnt at the stake on an island in the Seine.
Wo geht's denn hier hin? Mal erstmal da hoch? Wir gehen erstmal da hoch. Schick. Ist hier irgendwas? Eine Heizung. Ach nee, das ist keine Heizung. Das ist so ein Grab wie hier vorne.
A knight, there in the company of his fellows. Biblical references engraved into the tomb edge to guide his way to the next world. I guess. Somehow it looked more modern than its neighbor.
Vielleicht mal
I
eingeschlafen
didn't
worden.
recognize the biblical story in it. I was a Sunday school dropout.
Oh, was hat denn der da? Achso, so eine komische Schriftrolle, die ich in der Hand habe, oder nicht?
A scroll was a symbol of scholarship. I knew that much. A scholarly knight. That rang a bell. A very Spanish bell.
Was?
A statue of a knight holding a staff and a scroll. The statue had any secrets. It was concealing them pretty well.
Ich bilde mir ein, dass die Musik im Hintergrund immer irgendwas zu bedeuten hat.
A stone knight lay in full stone armor, blank eyes looking at the ceiling. Carrying all that armor around must have been hard work.
Na, wir schieben mal an der Statue rum. Oder fummeln dran rum, mal gucken.
On the end of the staff was some kind of disc with a cross on it. Around the base of the disc was a hairline crack. Well, I could have just taken the end off the staff, but I wanted to be sure what I'd be getting out of vandalizing a church, other than deported. On the end of the staff,
Ah, schade. Und hier rein?
I didn't have time to sit around.
Schade. Dann gehen wir einfach mal wieder. Gucken mal in den Gully. Vielleicht können wir hier irgendwas einstellen. Inventar. Das da. Bitte da. Ich bin schließlich Elektriker, ich darf das.
Hey! Hey,
Das war so
you!
klar.
What do you think you are doing? Leave that cover alone. Now.
Sorry, no harm intended.
You stay away from that.
Stay away from the summoner! So hat Final Fantasy X angefangen.
Hello again.
Hello again, monsieur.
Schade.
Do you know what this is?
It's a sewer key.
Ja, ha, siehst du.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
The pattern looks Middle Eastern.
Okay.
Do you know what this is?
Aha! You Americans with your notorious nose candy. I read Hollywood Wives. I know all about it.
If you tried to sniff this stuff, you'd wall up your nostrils. It's plaster of Paris.
It is. Thank heaven. For one awful moment, I thought I might actually have to arrest somebody. Alors, the paperwork. You have no idea.
Der hat den gerade angelogen. Der Gips ist nicht aus Paris, den haben wir in Irland gefunden, oder nicht? Haben wir den nicht in Irland gefunden?
Does this red nose mean anything to you?
Aha! A prosthetic nose. Very significant.
It is?
No, I am just having a little joke.
Solche Knallheimer.
What do you make of this grease paint stained tissue?
Delightful. Would you like to see some of my used tissues?
Hell no!
Then please put yours away.
Wo er recht hat?
Look at this gem. What do you think?
Cut glass.
No, it's not. It's for real.
What kind of madman would go around waving a priceless gem under people's noses?
So either it's glass or I'm mad? I didn't like to think about that for too long.
Okay, also den
I'll
krieg
see
ich
you around.
Oui, monsieur. I'll be there.
hier erstmal nicht weg. Kann ich denn hier hoch? Geht's da woanders hin oder geht es in dieselbe, es geht in dieselbe Kirche? Habe ich mir gedacht. Gut, dann... Muss ich hier noch was angucken? Nö. Dann verkrümeln wir uns einfach nochmal. Richtung Nico. Und gucken, ob die irgendwas zu melden hat. Oh, ne, wir können noch mal zur Poste de Police gehen und gucken, ob da Dings da ist. Aber ist immer noch nicht. Hallo. Und René Rousseau.
Sergeant Moo?
Yes.
I'd like to report in
Yes, monsieur?
Das haben wir doch schon gemacht.
They stopped
Could you just...
one, their name.
Okay, das war
See you
nichts.
later.
Gut, dann doch wieder zur Rue Jarry. Back in Nico's apartment.
Hello, Georges.
Hello.
Oh, by the way, I had a visit from André Lobineau.
Oh, yeah. I hope you didn't mind me giving him your address.
Not at all. It was lovely to see him again. He was over the moon when I showed him the manuscript. It's not often he gets that excited. He made a sketch of the Nachts crest to take back to the museum. I believe he's identified the family who bear that crest.
I sure hope so.
Mhm.
Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time.
Das hab ich schon
Besides,
mal
Marquet
gehört.
would have recognized him.
He was pumped to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't have recognized the four horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves.
Ha, das haben wir auch schon angeguckt. Was war denn?
I'd better get back to the quest.
Entschuldigung. Was soll denn das Rote heißen? Wo ich überall noch was machen kann oder was? Ne, wo ich überall hin kann. Aber der Dings ist ja nicht da. Kann ich den Kopf nochmal rufen? Ach, schade. Keine Telefonnummer. Können Sie mir helfen?
Hi there, remember me?
Ah, mais oui, Inspector. Have you found him?
Who?
The man in the sewer, of course.
I'm, sifting through the evidence.
Rather you than me, monsieur. So, when you are not exploring sewers, what do you do?
I take a lot of showers.
Oh, very good, monsieur. A policeman with a sense of humor.
Nummer.
Hi there, remember me?
Huh?
Who?
Das kennen wir doch schon.
So,
I take a lot.
Kann ich nochmal runter? Oh ja. Vielleicht kann ich hier irgendwo noch anders hin? Hab ich gehofft. Schade. Na toll, hier komme ich ja direkt wieder hier hinten raus. Und hier waren wir überall schon. Ich denke nicht, dass es hier noch was zu tun gibt, oder? Das macht nicht wirklich Sinn. Nee, nee. So, was nun? Oh, meine Nase. Sekunde mal bitte. Ah, so. Da bin ich wieder. Wir haben ein Problem. Ich weiß nämlich nicht, wo es weitergeht. Nee, wollte ich gar nicht hin. Ich wollte... Wo ich hin? Können wir noch hingehen? An Café war ich ja gerade. Rougerie war ich. Poste de Police war ich. Montfaucon. Aéroport. Man kann wegfliegen, aber ich kann nicht... Okay, schön. Gehen wir nochmal dahin. Muss ja irgendwas übersehen haben. Oh. Ach nee. Dann kann ich vielleicht... weiß nicht, hier irgendwas... Damit sicherlich nicht, aber... irgendwas Zeug, was ich hier habe. Oder ein Tipp. Ach so, es gibt ja Tipps. Kann ich nicht... Habe ich irgendwas... Ich habe aber auch nichts, was ich irgendwie dingsen könnte, ne? Macht keinen Sinn, ja. Hab ich mir gedacht. Gibt's. Mach kaputt. Schade. Komm, erzähl mal. What should I do? Hint 1. Right now, you might be better off elsewhere. The planned theft of the tripod from the museum should be your top priority. Stimmt. Stimmt, wir haben noch nicht mehr, wir haben noch nicht wieder mit dem André gesprochen, nachdem er bei Nico war. Dann begeben wir uns jetzt dahin. Vielleicht ist ja das Tripod mittlerweile schon weg, das Treiber. Das wäre natürlich ungünstig. Museekrone. Hallo. André.
Hi, Andre.
Hello, Georgie. Hey, I visited Nicole's apartment.
Yeah, she told me you came by.
Ooh, quite a fine Georgie boy. I didn't expect anything quite so sexy.
I hope you're referring to the manuscript.
Oui, of course.
Schön.
What did you make of the manuscript?
It dates from the time of the Crusades.
We guessed that from the Templar seal.
It's a story and pictures like a modern-day comic book.
Ja, mehr.
What story does the manuscript tell?
I don't know. It was probably produced for the tourist market.
Tourists?
Oh, oui, pilgrims in their thousands on their way to Jerusalem. The tourist trade is nothing new, you know. It's been around for centuries. Ever since Joshua made a packet selling souvenir bricks from the walls of Jericho.
Der erzählt auch Mist, oder nicht?
Have you deciphered any of the images on the manuscript?
There's very little I can be sure about. The slang of the bull could be a reference to Mithras.
Who's he?
A Persian god, almost as popular as Christ at one time. The only thing I can be sure of is the knight. He's Spanish.
How can you tell that?
The writing on the shield, the reference to Ave Maria. No self-respecting knight from Northern Europe would have borne a coat of arms like that.
Okay.
Can you identify the knight's coat of arms?
I already did, Georgie. He's a member of the De Vasconcelos family from the Costa Calida.
Were they famous?
No, they're not mentioned after the 15th century.
Oh.
The spotlight of history moved on. They're probably long dead.
Vielleicht auch nicht. Auf nach Spanien. Ja, ich denke nicht, dass wir hier
Thanks for your help, Andre.
You're welcome.
was brauchen. Was? Willst du mich verarschen? Ich kann es nicht mal angucken? Ach, der will mich da verkackeiern.
No, monsieur. No. No.
Okay, okay. The case contained the...
Kennen wir schon. Kann ich denn... Hier außenrum irgendwie? Nö. Weil das hieß doch, dass der das Fenster nur aufmacht wegen dieser komischen Pommesbude. Hamburger Bude. Kann ich mit dir nochmal quatschen? Unter Umständen.
Pardon me.
Oui, monsieur?
Oh.
Do you know anything about the Knights of the Temple?
No, sir. Not a sausage.
The sign on the tripod says it was found at a Templar preceptory.
It does?
Yeah. It doesn't mention John Dee at all.
Most remiss.
You don't know anything about the tripod, do you?
No, I don't. I owe a little education. He was an optician.
Das haben wir schon mal
But
gehört,
he also
oder?
he taught me the alphabet.
Ja,
But
ja,
why don't
ja.
you
Okay,
do
das
you?
kennen wir schon. Das werde ich hier ganz kurz skippen.
Do you know anything about medieval manuscripts?
Not me, monsieur. I am no scholar. Though people often mistake me for one. It is the uniform, I guess. They see the clothes.
Das
They
haben wir auch schon mal
are
gehört.
impressed.
And they ask you to park their cars?
They ask me to party. No. They assume I am an authority on the exhibits in my care.
Whereas you know next to nothing about history.
Of course not. All I am saying is, I am no scholar. Not like Monsieur Lobineau.
Ja, vom Treibermesser.
Thanks.
Das wussten wir schon. Das verstehe ich gerade nicht. Ach komm. Keine Lust. You could hide in the museum, then you might be left alone. Ja, da drin. Da soll's erstmal drauf kommen, ey. Ich meine, ich war ja schon drin, das ist ja nicht so, ne?
It is closing time, Monsieur Lobineau.
Already, there just aren't enough hours in the day.
More than enough for me. I can't wait to get home and put my feet up.
Eh bien, see you tomorrow.
Good night, monsieur.
Ach, guck mal, Anna, schau. Flip und Flop.
Quit fooling around, you moron! Get your ass over here and bring that flashlight. What the... Who's there?
Let's get out of here!
What the hell? Ist das Nico?
And when I woke up, I was at the police station. Luckily, I managed to persuade Rosso I was innocent.
Poor Georges.
What a
Die Stimme.
mess. I bungled the whole thing.
I don't think so. You made a pretty good job of distracting those two crooks.
Yeah, but the killer got away with the tripod.
No, he didn't. is not the only one who can dress up in costume.
You mean it was you who stole the tripod? Oh, hell, Nico. I could have been shot.
Those dogs are more likely to shoot their own feet.
I just wish you'd told me your plans. We're supposed to be in this together. And how come you dressed up like a pantomime cat?
Don't sulk, Georgie, please.
Oh, rats. And don't call me Georgie.
Oh, I really thought you'd be pleased. After all, we've got the tripod.
Die Stimme.
Is there something going on between you and Labano?
What business is it of yours? We agreed all this. The clown, the Templars, strictly business, remember?
Yeah, but...
So get off my case.
Ja, weiß jetzt
Let's
nochmal.
take another look at the manuscript.
Ich will das nicht nochmal angucken. Ah, jetzt,
Look there.
Ich will...
There's but the...
Ach Gott, ey.
There's...
Ja,
There, but
komm. Danke. Ich will da nicht hin.
I better get back...
Shut up. Nein! Wieso hat denn der jetzt... Meine Fresse. Hallo.
Hello, George.
Das da.
No.
No? Okay. Oh. Oh ja, ich gerade noch vom Band gekriegt. Ich sehe gerade, wir sind schon über eine halbe Stunde drüber. Dann würde ich
I
hier
better
erstmal
get back to the quest.
Pause machen. Und wir sehen uns dann beim nächsten Part oder so. Bis dahin. Ciao.